Hello, and welcome to the first episode of the Reba Watch podcast, where each episode we're going to watch an episode of Reba. We're going to discuss the plot and give some opinions on it.
I'm Noel.
I'm Adam. Have I said my name already?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't. That's okay.
And this is the Reba podcast.
The Reba Watch podcast.
And this is the Reba Watch podcast.
And we'll play the theme song here.
A single mom who works two jobs to love her kids and never stops.
So Reba the podcast, and okay, one sec. So Reba the show came out in 2001. It was so after Reba had already been famous. So for some reason she shifted into the sitcom sphere instead of the country music sphere.
And we were wondering, why did she make this? We were thinking, is this just another tax write-off to like document her life,
like
in a way?
Like she's like playing herself in the show, but like a version of herself who's not a singer. Which why you playing yourself just like if you were like a normal not celebrity? Like you're playing yourself as a normal person.
So we were thinking, this is kind of her rehearsal by Nathan Fielder in a way.
Yeah, she like is living this fantasy of being a normal woman through acting in her own sitcom.
So in real life, did her daughter actually get pregnant?
No, none of this is true or has anything to do with her. Like,
oh, okay.
The only like common thing is that she's playing a woman named Reba, but it's not really herself, even though that's Reba.
Okay.
I don't know. So, episode 1 begins. They're in the family therapy, and there's two big reveals in that scene. First reveals that her husband had an affair with one of his dental hygienists. He's a dentist, and now she's pregnant. But guess who's also pregnant?
Her 16-year-old daughter.
Reba's daughter. And then like both of those truths coming out at once caused them to all start tackling each other, and then it cut to the theme song. So, yeah. What'd you think about the opening scene?
Did they say she was 16? I can't remember.
I think so, because, yeah, like, she's a junior in high school, or is she a senior? She might be, wait.
Oh, she might be a senior.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work.
Yeah.
But one of my first notes is that I put, is Reba Applejack from My Little Pony? And Adam looked this up, but
it turns out she is not, but I could see why. So yeah, I felt the opening scene was good. It told us the plot very well. It set up who these people were and why they're different on TV. You know, this is 2001. I think it's 2001, but probably pre 9/11. Like, so I wonder how like 9/11 will have a future impact on future episodes, because this is probably filmed before 9/11.
I think it actually said 2006.
What? Oh, I think that's when
it ended?
Yeah, it was 2001 to 2006.
Okay.
I believe.
Interesting.
We'll have our producer look that one up.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's 2001 to 2007, apparently. But yeah. Oh my God, yeah. It aired right before 9/11, so I wonder if there was like any like airplane plots that they had to like cut some episodes out. Like they had them ready, but then it happened, so they couldn't air them. Like, you know, in Lilo and Stitch.
That's true.
Yeah. But what else happened in this episode? So after, theme song plays. Then the whole episode is basically about them, like, what are they going to do about this? So Reba thinks it's time for them to, like, they just have a wedding, but her ex-husband disagrees and is threatening to not even show up to the wedding.
One thing I noticed was the daughter's boyfriend was Kevin from Shameless.
Yes, that's an important... Yeah, my mom noticed that she recognized him too, and I was like, oh, it's Kevin from Shameless. And she was like, I've never watched Shameless, but then we couldn't figure out what she knew him from then. So, what do we think about Barbara Jean?
Barbara Jean.
She's the one...
I think she's... she reminds me a little bit of my high school biology teacher. Just from the accent.
I would definitely agree with that. I know the teacher in question.
A little strict.
A little strict.
But
had some country in her though.
Yeah, a little country.
A little strict.
And logical. She's logical.
Barbara Jean?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Huh. I got the more like she's a little not bright.
This is the main character, right? Or Reba?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I see that connection.
I think
Barbara
Reba.
Jean's the blonde hair dental job.
Oh, okay.
I can see the connection.
I thought Reba was playing Barbara Jean, but she's just playing Reba.
Yeah.
Okay, Barbara Jean is the hygienist.
Yes. And,
oh, she's a little ditzy. I kind of like her.
Yeah, I like her. See, that was one of my notes. I wrote that like, what did I say? I really love Barbara Jean, but she needs to learn some boundaries because she was
all over the place.
She wants to intrude on like Reba's personal life, and get so involved, but can't like read the room, and that maybe she needs to back up a bit, you know?
She kept correcting them when they would cuss and be like,
yeah,
instead of hell, she's like, heck.
No, like that would actually be like, imagine that though, like, I don't know.
Imagine your husband soon to be divorced, his mistress correcting your language
house, in your household, like
with your kids in the room.
Yeah, like that's just totally overstepping and like some moral high ground there that it takes a lot to get into, and the implications that she works for the guy too, and that Barbara Jean is said to be pretty young, but I feel like they look the same.
I think they look the same.
But then Reba made the comment like, "Oh, Barbara Jean wasn't even alive then."
Oh,
so there's some implications there. And also, the daughter, like not the oldest daughter, but the middle child in the family, she was really fucking mean. Like, she was very unsupportive of the whole situation. And, like, you know how, like, she was, like, Reba said something about, like, giving her the wedding dress one day. And that daughter said, after a divorce and a teen pregnancy, I don't want to take it. Like, she would never want to live a disappointing life like Reba's.
She's a little bit of a sassy girl.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like she's like really mean.
Yeah, she is. That poor mom.
Yeah.
She works so hard.
Yeah. Like, she works and she loves her kids.
We noticed from the opening scene, or the opening credits, it was like she changed the lyrics of the song.
Yes. So, like, in the song that most people know it by on like TikTok and stuff, it's like a single mom who works 2 jobs, but
loves her kids and never stops.
But like for the shows, that doesn't really apply to Reba's character for some reason, even though she could have just made Reba work 2 jobs to make it apply. But in the show, it's a single mom who works too hard or too much or too hard or something like that. But so it's a little confusing why they would take the time to change that when it's just kind of like not that hard to explain. Also, okay, so Van, the boyfriend of Cheyenne, the daughter, made this joke about having their honeymoon in his uncle's like cabin or something like that.
Yeah, he was like, just make sure you don't open the cellar.
Yeah, what was the implications of that?
I thought it was just like wine cellar
Oh,
at like a vacation cabin.
oh, I thought it meant like, oh, he like killed someone.
Oh.
Like, but like
Maybe.
that makes more sense, I think.
I think they just have like a little vacation home.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. I was
Did
like,
you
wow.
think, oh, he killed someone?
Like that, like the joke was like, oh, the uncle's hiding a body in his cellar.
Oh, that could be another one.
Is it like?
I don't know.
But then I was like,
You've
that's
been
like,
watching too many horror games.
but like I was just thinking like, that's strange. Like, because like sitcoms are supposed to be like not like that.
Lighthearted.
Yeah.
I do think it was a vacation home.
Yeah, that makes that makes more sense.
Because it had like, the keys had like flip-flop keychain.
Yeah. I was just like, the cellar.
Mm.
But it's probably wine cellar, you're correct. So, it was a pretty humorous situation where, so after she finds out her dad might not be coming to the wedding, she's like, well, I'm not going to his wedding.
True.
Like, that's, you probably don't get to see that situation a lot.
You can't see this, but I'm nodding.
Okay. Oh, I could see it, though, but to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a humorous situation. So, but then the dad ends up showing up, and he comforts Reba, who's sobbing, and then Barbara Jean walks in, and then Reba makes this face, and it's like, it's a top-tier Reba face. She does that, like, scowl thing.
Like kind of the frown.
Yeah, and she, like, puckers out her lips a bit with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, scene right there was a good Reba face moment.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Something also interesting about how the show was filmed, Adam's mom actually, she noticed that this one scene, can you describe the scene? I can't quite remember it.
So basically, wedding goes awry, of course, and Reba has to go upstairs and comfort Cheyenne and get the wedding back on. So then she like makes some joke about burning Barbara Jean
BJ's.
BJ in oil. She says oil. And then she goes, "Yep, that's right. Mama's got a dark side." And then everyone like laughs, and then some of the studio audience starts clapping at that joke.
Really loud.
Yeah.
Louder than the other scenes. And
my mom pointed out that was the one joke that got some claps out of them. It's a fan favorite.
And that's from T with D dot or T with D.
T with D.
And that's from T with D.
We can cut some of her saying that into this.
Yeah.
So then at the end of the episode, wedding happens, and then it ends with them taking some pictures, but then like Van says something kind of raunchy, like, I made sure to pack lots of condoms.
Yeah.
And then she's like, huh? And then Barbara Jean comes in and she's like, oh.
Yeah, in the family picture. She's just pushing her way in.
Yeah. Like, she needs to learn some boundaries for once. Well, another joke that played throughout the episode, I just remembered this, to each one of the kids at some point in the episode, she says, have I told you you're my favorite?
And kisses them.
And yeah. So, it was pretty humorous how she said that to every single one of them, even though the implication of what she told them is that there's only one favorite, but it turns out she loves all her kids.
That's true. And that's the first episode of Reba.
Yeah, it was... What did you think? I've seen this episode, I think, like 3 times now.
This was a cold watch. I wasn't really sure what to expect. But I've never seen Reba. I didn't even know the theme song was her.
Yeah.
I've never seen her sing. At first, I was watching it and I thought this was like a biography of her real life. But now, after debriefing and noticing that this is in fact just like a made up family that she wants to be a part of,
Mm-hmm.
I can respect that.
For
I
sure.
liked the first episode.
For sure. So, yeah, I think this was a solid way to start the show. I will say when I watched it for the first time, it didn't hook me as much as I wanted it to. I had to come back to it later. But I think it was a good first episode. I'm glad you learned a lot about Reba.
Thank you.
I think from after this episode, each episode, we should pick a Reba song to listen to and review each
Okay.
episode. And then
And
we can
this
have like a ranking.
is Reba's music corner.
Well, maybe we can start next episode so we
Okay.
have the review ready.
Okay, true.
So, and then we can like rank each song of her discography. So we love Reba here, and please
Subscribe.
subscribe.
Watch the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Our Patreon will be soon up and ready to go.
And we'll talk about like really niche Reba details in the Patreon. So it'll be, if you really like Reba, then and you want exclusive information, you can subscribe once we have it up. But yeah, this is the Reba Watch podcast. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll be back every week.
I'm Noelle.
I'm Adam, and yeah.